Chill the fuck up. Listen. Ooh, I have that water.
Are you
bottle.
ready? Are you ready to take some shit? Are you ready to take some shit for your Shutter Island opinion?
Yeah, are you ready? First of all, Leonardo DiCaprio, DiCaprio is
I gotta get him to stop.
Is a national treasure. You shut your whore mouth. So that's first and foremost. Been loving him since Growing Pains. I don't know what your problem is there, buddy. Second of all, I'm sorry that Shutter Island was too highbrow for you. You didn't get it. Perhaps on the third viewing, you will understand. Fourth of all, Martin Scorsese can do no wrong. So once again, you're wrong.
Rebuttal?
Rebuttal?
You need a Snickers. He has a Snickers for you. You're being really Joe Pesci.
As I usually am. I am a New Yorker. It's in us.
Yeah, Snickers are for when you're not yourself.
Yeah, this is very on brand, Alicia. I don't know what show you've been watching.
If we heard Jen in a rant like that, then you would offer her a Snickers bar.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So, Drew, rebuttal.
What can he say to that?
Drew.
So
rebuttal.
So my rebuttal is I actually enjoyed Sharknado more than I did Shutter Island. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, and folks, there you have it. I think.
Hey, I'm not knocking Leo. Leo is a great actor. It's just in this film. I've called him that since Titanic. Since the days of Titanic and What's Eating Gilmore Girls.
Term of endearment.
Term of endearment? Yeah. That's what you're calling it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, welcome back to Car and Heels. You're hearing Drew from the PostCredit Podcast. He's here with his brother Matt. And go ahead and listen to their Shutter Island episode so you can understand what Alicia is ranting about right now.
I thought I put together a pretty good case for it, but
you did, but
it's a great movie. Especially when it's been a while and you forget the end. But after you've seen it like the second time, then you can't forget what happens.
That's true. It's kind of like we mentioned this too, because we said Sixth Sense was just like that. You know, I mean, Sixth Sense was a really, really great movie, but you can't really watch it more than once. I mean, because you know what's going to happen. You know the ending.
Or if you're Alicia, you figured it out halfway through.
Yeah, and also the Sixth Sense lies to you the whole time, whereas Shutter Island tells you the truth the entire time. True. It's just whether or not you pick up on it or not.
Right.
So. And I picked up right at the beginning.
But the Sixth Sense, if you're paying attention, the scene when he's at the house and the mother is walking around paying him zero mind should have been the telltale sign you all needed. Just right. If it wasn't, stop drinking while you're watching movies. I don't know what to tell you.
Are you telling yourself this, Alicia, or are you telling other people as you take another drink?
Just you can drink and podcast, just don't drink and watch movies.
Hey. So I gotta ask this: are we gonna meet up at this Fright Festival?
Oh, we've been over that, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
You missed that.
Okay. You guys are coming Friday night because you didn't get your Saturday tickets and they're sold out. Get your Friday night tickets tonight.
Yeah, they're sold out. There's
Saturday a roaring 20s party and everything. It's going to be a blast.
How far are you guys?
30 minutes. It's basically right by the airport, right?
Yeah. Yes.
It's at the airport.
So about 20-30 minutes.
Okay.
And so I should wax my legs before I go, or?
Yes, I mean that would be preferable.
Yeah.
Well, I figured I could tattoo my name on it, right? That's what we're doing?
Yeah. Really? I think my wife would have a problem with that. I'm just saying. She's already jealous enough about the relationship we all four have. And so I think if I got your name tattooed, she might have a problem with that.
Bring her to Texas Frightmare Weekend. She can see how ridiculously awkward I am and the jealousy will come.
You have a lot of similarities with my wife, Alicia. I'm just gonna say that from what I know of you. You do kind of, You have a very you say what's on your mind 99.150% of the time, and Yeah, you like to partake in the fermented beverage, so and
Yeah.
she does as well.
Oh.
So you'll get along very
and
well.
Jen actually reminds me a bit of mine because she's very just chilled and kind of laid back and everything. And I told my wife, I was like, yeah, they say podcast boyfriends, and my wife's like, I don't care.
I've got
whatever.
I hope we're not making their lives like upset or uncomfortable when we say
Oh
that.
no, they
no.
think it's funny. They
Yeah,
think
they think it's
hilarious.
Ed could care less too. He's like, have fun.
Like
It's
work
fun.
husband.
It's fun
Yeah.
because I like to watch your Facebook, Jen, on the regular because it's hilarious. I mean, everything you put on your page is so funny, and I get a kick out of every little meme that you put out there and everything else like
Yeah,
that.
she's
So
great.
it's a highlight of my day to watch.
Thank
to
you.
look
I
at
try
your
to keep
Facebook.
it funny, and I'm like, I don't want to get into all the serious BS to everyone.
Yeah,
Jen, did
exactly.
you post the TikTok that you found yesterday?
Which I was up on TikTok so late last night.
So
the-
late, 3 a.m., 3
Yeah,
a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I don't know.
I still couldn't sleep.
So she found a TikTok of a woman who, like Betty White, feeds an alligator right from
Fun.
her stoop. From
I was
her
like,
Oh,
stoop.
I've seen that. I've seen that video.
Yeah.
That is.
I knew you would get the
It's
reference.
And that's from there's a movie about that. It's the one about the
Lake Placid.
Lake
They
Placid.
just did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that was the one that you missed. That's
Yeah.
the one he missed, but yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say Lake Placid. Betty White does that as well.
Yeah.
So I didn't
Yeah.
put two and two together. So
Guys,
my day has been extremely hectic. Let me tell you
No,
what.
Still catching up.
Yeah.
guys, and I do think I am too behind on you guys.
Okay.
I don't post a lot of stuff. I tend to get a little
No, but I'm just saying I think I'm
one-sided on some of my
too.
stuff.
A little
I
what?
think I'm-
Well, I lean a certain direction, so I tend to
Piss
my
people
bo-
off.
Yeah, I tend to piss a lot of people off. I usually have to check my friends count daily to see how many friends I've lost.
He's the reason we actually have a no politics allowed
Correct.
Policy on our show.
Correct.
Because we may be somewhat close, but I just don't like talking politics, and I don't like
Drew,
talking politics.
I'm
here.
the reason we don't.
Yeah.
We have the same policy.
Yeah, because I know me and Jen kind of lean the same way on some certain things. So I with you, Alicia, you don't post a lot of stuff that I've noticed that. So it's kind of hard to read you when it comes to some of this stuff.
Except for on
so.
Shudder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Horror movies, that's the one thing we'll just.
Guys, I lied. I'm only one episode behind. I haven't listened to My Girl.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We got Breakfast Club, and Ferris Bueller coming up too.
I love
Wait. I wasn't invited for Breakfast Club. Fuck
Oh,
you guys.
jeez. Look, we're getting
That's
in
your
trouble
fault.
for everything.
That is your fault, not my fault.
Good luck getting out
I
of this.
remember. So, so my dad had to go to a funeral, so I stayed at like a family friend's house, and that mom was like really cool. I think we were like 9 or 10. She let us watch The Breakfast Club.
Oh, geez.
Oh, wow.
My son's about to turn 10, and I watched it with him. And I did have to have him cover up a couple times, a couple
Yeah.
little things in there. Close your eyes. I know what's coming up. That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we are talking the 2013 classic
Masterpiece.
masterpiece,
Oh.
Sharknado. Sharknado.
Hey, yeah, you know what?
This
don't wanna
was my
interrupt you.
first full viewing. Anybody else's first full viewing? Or did anybody else like
This is my first full viewing. I've seen some of the movie. I just haven't seen the whole thing, but this is definitely my first full viewing of the film.
I've never seen any of it at all. So I went into
Now you were
this not
compelled to
knowing.
watch the rest of them, right?
I was about to say that, to be honest with you. Like, it's like, seriously, I watched the
I
first one. I'm
know.
like, I kind of need to watch the second one. I
okay.
don't want to, but I kind of need
Is
to.
Nova in all of them?
I don't give spoilers, sir, and you know this.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. I was going to ask if the character, because she was the best part of the movie, in my opinion. So if she's in the rest of them, then I'll watch it.
Now the fourth one, I heard go back in time, or
Yes,
there
it's
is
about
time travel
time.
in the fourth one.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
about
that's-
time.
That's
The taglines are
ridiculous, but
amazing.
it's also awesome.
I love
There
it.
are-
It is.
Not spoilers, but I will say that there are some amazing cameos coming up in the next one.
Oh yes.
Including but not limited to people like David Hasselhoff, Mark McGrath, Mark Cuban.
Who's the president? I heard.
Oh, is he that? I didn't know.
Mark Cuban is, yeah.
Chris Jericho. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Me and my dad watched
The
all these.
wrestler.
I think it was last year. No, maybe a year or two ago. Me and my dad went through them all together. They're so fun.
Doesn't
Yeah.
Fabio play the Pope in one of them or something?
maybe.
Sounds
Sure,
right.
let's
I read
just say
something
yes.
like
I love the taglines. This one is the tagline for the first one is Sharknado. Enough said.
Yeah.
that. Isn't the last one say like finally or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird to talk about this because, you know, I really actually kind of wanted, after I watched the first one, I'm like, you know, I kind of need to watch the second one. I kind of need to watch the third one and the fourth one. How stupid ever it is. It's like an itch you can't scratch, you know, you're
It
going to
really
have to
is.
watch it, you know.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. I don't think I'm gonna be watching another one.
Matt does not feel the itch. No itch for Matt.
You know, this film was only filmed in 18 days.
Correct.
Not like 6 months or 3 months, even literally 18 days. That's how long it took to film this film.
That's kind of
I
crazy.
mean, yeah, I'm just kind of wondering, like, you know, any other any sci-fi other movies that came out, if it was as quickly, because, you know, a lot of them are pretty bad, you know, like very type movies, you know.
And I imagine 17 of those days were spent inside the studio, inside a car scene, because there was a lot of that.
Yes, yeah, there was with all the rain and stuff.
Yeah,
That was filmed horribly as well.
yeah, where
too.
you can tell it was
That was
definitely
all
not
bad.
outside.
It was all
Listen,
bad.
we didn't come to this movie expecting highbrow filmography, did we, fellas? Because
No.
that
not at
was a
all.
mistake on your part if you did.
Yeah.
I think when you
Now-
watch Sharknado, you know what you're getting into.
No, I would hope so.
Now,
Yeah.
Jen, you have said that you don't enjoy shark movie. You don't find shark movies scary because you
Yes.
would just not fucking go
Go
into
to
the
the
water. So now
Right.
this one did it for you because they're just coming at
They're
you.
coming
You
at
can't
you like-
keep them.
Well, that's scary because I could actually be sitting in my living room and the shark flies through and eats me while I'm on the couch. Like, that's actually kind of scary. You
Yeah.
can't avoid flying around in the air. What are you going to do? So for
Or
a
end up in your
shark,
swimming pool. Or end up
Yeah.
in the swimming pool in your backyard. You know?
Right. So I'm not gonna lie, there were a few moments that I cried. When he saves the kids on the bus. I don't care if you
Okay.
can all make fun of me. I was welling like a baby. Like the mom I am, I'm like, if my son ever gets stuck on a bus, I hope there's
Surrounded
a
by
big
sharks.
to save him. Listen,
Somehow surrounded by sharks.
you Texas people laugh, but first of all, the sharks are coming closer and closer on the Long Island shores. Like, there are pictures of them. They're just
Okay.
right up on the shore now. So don't laugh. And also, hurricanes get real bad around here. I could be in a Sharknado situation.
Well, you know, we were ex Coast
I only
Guards, so
live
both
them.
of us
I only live.
had to swim with sharks, and they you know, I was out in the middle of the Atlantic, and they had a bunch of small boats around when we were jumping off the ship, and 4 sharks in general, you know. And so, and then I was also stationed out in near Alameda, and what is it, near Petaluma? It's something Bay. I don't know if you know, Jen, or anywhere in like Northern
It's
California.
too far north, probably.
Yeah, but it was like north of San Francisco, but it's like the
Monterey
number
Bay?
one cap. No, because I don't know. It could be because, I mean, we have a runaway bay here too, but it's something bay, and it had like the highest population per capita of great white sharks in this bay. I mean, in this, you know, is right off the, you know, it's northern California, but
yeah.
there was just so many sharks in this area that you couldn't go swimming. You could not get in the water.
Yeah.
It's impossible to get. You can't fish in that bay either because there's no fish, you know. And
Because they're all getting
but I
eaten.
mean, oh yeah, and then we, you know, with us, we've lived all over the country and been all over the country, and I've been all over the South. So like we saw sharks and, you know, saw a lot of dolphins and things like that. But, you know, I didn't see one stinking dolphin in here. You know how they tell you about how dolphins, you know, in the wild they save people and stuff like that by
They're
getting away sharks.
Yeah.
I didn't see one stinking dolphin, you know.
That would have been cool to see in one of the sequels or something, like sharks versus dolphins or something.
Yeah, and then have the dolphin has a whole shield of armor on him or something, you know. A sword on its nose.
Yes.
Monterey Bay, that's it.
Monterey Bay.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's it had so many stinking sharks, and like I said, they wouldn't let anybody get in the water. It was just that bad. But it's yeah.
So they have to see not let anybody get in the water. Like
yeah, that's true.
I'd be like, please, great. like once again, let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, I mean, if you're dumb enough to get into knowingly infested shark waters, I say.
But and they would never find your body. I mean, I'm not using it as a suggestion or anything, but they would never find your body either.
We don't talk about ambulances or emergency services. That's
yeah. You're gonna act a fool. We're gonna treat you like a fool.
Yeah. So with this film, like you know, Ian Ziering took this part to get health insurance for him and family. Ian, sorry. I did watch 90210. Okay. So Ian,
his name was Steve in that one.
Yeah.
Just call him Steve.
Oh, Steve. That's a lot easier to say. But no, he took this part just for the insurance, to have medical insurance for his family and kids, but he did not have any idea that it was going to blow up like it did.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I did not know that, but I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense, because I don't remember him really doing anything before this movie besides 902.
Yeah.
So.
He was amazing. He was so much fun in Worst Cooks in America Celebrity Edition, which came out after this.
Okay.
I think his season was like right before the fourth one.
Oh,
I love to watch rich people who can't cook get yelled at by Anne Burrell. It's my favorite.
That's all. I like watching Gordon Ramsay dig into people.
Oh yeah, but the funniest thing is he's actually one of the nicest people. I have a few acquaintances here on the island of shows that places that he's rescued, and they say he's just the sweetest, most giving. Like, he gets mad because of how much he cares and because he truly wants people to succeed.
Yeah. And I was
That's
a
how
chef.
British people can be too, is that they can come off like, they're being assholes or whatever, but really, they just care about something.
And I was a chef before I became a plumber or whatever, and
did you wash
I know
your
how
hands?
some of these chefs are. Oh, all constantly. Even as a plumber now, I constantly am sanitizing and washing my hands. Like, y'all see a lot of other plumbers out there, and they just don't really do that often. But I constantly wash my hands. I know,
but you do like new construction plumbing.
Well,
so
now
like
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
But
with anything nasty.
When I was a chef, you ran
But
into a
still,
lot of
new
people who were
construction
jerks.
plumbing, I would assume there's still a lot of fibers, dust, dirt.
Yeah.
Just none of the more yucky stuff.
Yeah,
the
the yucky
stuff.
I should say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
I dealt
Why do you
plenty-
have to live
plenty
in
of that.
Texas? I need a plumber.
Well, I've lived on a lot of states. I've lived in quite a few states, and Texas has happened to be probably my favorite.
Boston would be closest to Alicia, huh?
Yeah. I lived in
Boston
Boston.
was
Well, I
fun.
lived in a little outside of Boston, so
Yeah.
I used to go to New York all the time. Take the train to New York. I love that. I love New York. So I went to California. I'm not a huge fan. No offense, Jen. I mean, I only went to the northern part, so I can't really. Yeah,
She said, I get it.
you probably know why, but northern part of California is beautiful up there. But I'm still kind of a Florida beach kind of guy, because those beaches are just gorgeous.
Our beaches are not the greatest, which I can only imagine if we did have nice beaches, how much worse the cost of living would be here.
Right,
That's the one thing I'm grateful for. I'm like, if we had Hawaii type beaches, it would be, I would have had to move a long time ago.
If you had
I was
much
gonna
nicer beaches, you would have Long Island cost of living.
Or even,
and I heard that's just as bad as California.
Oh,
or even
yeah.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Hawaii. I saw a video of a native woman. She was talking. She's like, her grandma bought this house for like $35,000 back in 1955 or something like that, and it's now worth 1.8.
Jeez.
and the 1.8 million, and the cost of living has only gone up average about $10,000. So it makes it that much hard for natives to stay in their own land, to be able to afford to live in their own land. It's crazy.
That's what I'm feeling in LA. I'm like, I can't even afford to live here, and I'm born here. What the hell? It's very frustrating.
Yeah. Well, so this, I don't know.
You guys want to go in an order? I don't want to jump ahead or anything.
Do we think this needs an order?
I mean, we can do a little bit of order.
No.
Sure, order.
We always seem to pick pick movies like this to do shows on. Like we should do one off of just straight up rambling. Friday the 13th or Halloween or even a Freddy Krueger movie. I mean, we tend to find some of the most ridiculous horror movies to talk about.
Have you noticed that? We really do. Yeah. It's all good.
What have we had?
Not that I have a problem with it. I enjoy
Black
it, but
Christmas,
I just
13 Ghosts and Sharknado.
Exactly.
Now.
Yes,
None of them Oscar winners.
What was it? Not Skulls. That's what I kept calling it. Yeah, Black Christmas.
Black Christmas, the 2013, 2019, or whatever it was. I don't understand.
Well, if we're going in, go ahead.
I don't understand. Like, you just slap a name on a movie. I don't get it. That would be like titling a new movie Jaws and it being about cheerleaders. Like, same thing. Like, same premise. I just don't understand.
Or what about Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
That's a good one.
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
that's
Yeah.
I won't watch that movie, by the way. That is the one movie that I'm not terrified. I'm not scared. It's more or less like I refuse to watch just because I don't like clowns, and especially killer ones from outer space. Not a fan. Not a fan at all.
Not the wrong thing.
But what came before this was actually Stonenado, right? Have you guys seen that?
That sounds made up.
No, there was a movie. It was before Sharknado, and it was Stonenado, where these stones would be like raining down on people and like they'd blow up or something when they hit or something like that. And somebody like made a joke about doing a Sharknado, and that's how this movie came about, as far as what I read. But apparently there's something called Stonenado too. And I really want to watch.
Somebody obviously had to be stoned to come up with both names. I'm just saying because somebody keeps on employing this person.
A billion NATO spinoffs. Was it you who made us watch this, Jen? Was it your watch party?
What?
Clownnado?
Yes, but that was Thomas's choice, not mine.
Oh, I knocked out. I think I made it a good 35 minutes, and then I was like, I love you guys, but I'm not stocked enough in the liquor cabinet department, which is totally a lie. I own at any time 5 bottles of tequila, 4 bottles of whiskey, 2 bottles of rum, 3 bottles of wine, a bottle of vodka. Like, I'm always fully stocked. I never let those.
You're like prepared for a party every single night of the week, right?
I really am. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also that type of
and this is a party of like 20.
Yeah. I'm always just like the type of person, like, and also because I don't have friends that would care, like, come over. I don't give a shit if my house is dirty. Come sit on the couch, drink a glass of wine with me. I don't care. Like,
friends, they don't care.
They don't care. Exactly.
Exactly. And that's the point I have to get to sometimes. I mean, you know, every once in a while when my mother comes over, my father comes over, I got to make sure, you know,
No. I said my friends.
Yeah. No.
Come over.
My friends I could care less.
40 days.
Yes,
what are you
absolutely.
talking? I just had the family reunion. I got work done on the house. I had landscapers come. No. You're talking two completely different things there. Throughout
and it's mainly my mother. My mother is the one that I have to make sure my house is clean because, you know, that's how I was raised, you know, and in my house was immaculate growing up.
I can't do
so even having our friends over, my mom would allow it and she'd be okay with it, but she would be probably biting her nails in her room with the door shut and freaking out because she just does not want people to come in here and destroy her house, you know. But at the same time, but we did it anyways, just because, you know, if you knew my brother back then, you would know and understand.
How dare you?
What happened?
How dare you?
He blames me for everything, but you know what? He needs to take some blame for some of it, you know.
I was just kid bouncing off the walls with ADHD. So it was just like my whole childhood went by in a blur. So.
Who was fed Skittles and anything sugary by family and friends just to basically
settle it down.
piss off my mother.
Yeah, just to see what happened. Like hey,
just to see what happens.
Give him some sugar and then see what happens.
Yes.
Push him down the stairs.
You
can see that we are all a group of people with at least mild ADD because we have talked about the movie for all of 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah. Well, we always pick these movies where we really don't have a ton to talk about.
Where it's more interesting, our side conversation
everything else.
Actual movie.
But you know, I was thinking about this. You know, one on John Hurd, you know, who played George. I was kind of ticked off he died at the beginning. Yeah, I wanted him to make it through the whole movie. I thought it would have been awesome if he would have made it through the whole movie. He was just kind of like a laid by. I mean, obviously he was a drunk and he really had no life besides that bar. But he really just kind of was. I love him in all the movies he does, but he was just hilarious. No, he was just without trying. He was just hilarious.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: he must have had some sort of life because he lived in Beverly Hills.
Probably retired.
By the way,
I caught that.
Yeah. By the way, the girl seemed way more interested in letting George touch her once he said Beverly Hills. Just saying.
Well.
Yeah.
I'm in on that.
But you almost think that was kind of some sort of shout out to Steve. Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, probably the Beverly Hills 902.
You know, like a little thing there. You know, to you know. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of feel like it was like that, and then you got the Jason Simmons who played Baz. You know, it's like you thought he was gonna be the guy that just got, you know, beaten and eaten and you know, lose a limb and you know, make it out at the end, and then you're just like, okay,
all right,
that's really
what the tough Australian.
Yeah. You just thought he was, you know, you thought he was gonna be, you know, tore up basically throughout the movie, and then at the end of the movie he'd just show up out of nowhere and be like
Richard Dreyfuss in Jaws, how he just popped out of the water and like, hey, we're good, right?
He's alive.
Yeah.
And I really felt like that's the way that they were originally doing it, but again, because the script writing was so horrible that, you know, they were just like, hey, you know what, let's just screw everybody else up.
We're gonna waste time trying to figure out why they did this for that. I think we just have to accept that a lot of decisions were made on the fly, on the set. They had a basic premise of this is what's going on, and it felt like.
But a 5-year-old wrote this.
You're saying that there are plot holes in a movie in which a lady gets eaten in the air by a shark, and then Steve gets eaten by the same shark, and he manages to cut them both out, and she's still fully intact and alive? You're saying there's plot holes in a movie like that?
No, it's the one entire plot hole. I just thought it would make some kind of sense, at least a moment throughout the entire movie.
Stop saying make sense with this movie. That just doesn't go together.
But people paid
I will
money.
Say that
people paid money to watch this.
I know, but
who paid money?
Well, it was on Sci-Fi.
Sci-Fi.
No,
you have to pay for your
cable. It did go to the theater for like a day or two or something like that a while back.
And you have to pay for your cable and your electric to power your TV. So that's what they're paying for.
And
that was the one moment
in
the movie that I got excited.
I had never seen it because I didn't have Sci-Fi back then.
Yeah.
When it came out, that's the reason.
I like how in these disaster movies. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, there's always the estranged family. It's never like a functional family that gets hit by these disasters. It's always the divorced couple and their kids.
They all hate him because he's not around or whatever.
Yeah.
But you know, usually on these movies, the stepdad's like really nice and understanding and just kind of like non-douchey, and he just really is, you know, I don't want to break up your relationship between your father, you know, but in this movie it was like, nope, we're gonna make your dad the most douchiest person on the planet.
Well, yeah, because you're at that point rooting for the shark to fucking eat that piece of shit. I was like, oh,
before I even saw him on scene, I was rooting. Before I even saw anybody on scene, I was rooting for the shark. You know, I wanted the sharks to eat everybody because I wanted the movie to end right at the beginning.
That whole plot in the beginning had nothing to do with anything of the rest of the movie.
It made no sense.
Okay. I was gonna ask about that because I was so confused. and so I was just like, okay, I got to ask about this because I obviously missed something because they set it up like there was some like henchmen that were all behind this and everything.
Yeah.
Everything
right,
went to
yeah.
shit after that. So what happened?
Now,
with
they
that?
had to explain how the sharks were in that area. That's how, you know, this is what, again, I was watching this movie way too intently because what I read is that they were saying that is because he was saying that he had like something like 50 million sharks or something. So many sharks.
Units. Is
Yeah,
what
50
he said.
million, you know, whatever. But 50 sharks coming
Pod.
towards them, you
Yeah.
know, and so they had to explain where these random sharks. I mean, because you didn't have just one type of shark,
Right,
in this
but
film.
what were they doing with them? How did they get the sharks?
They were
there?
trying to
Like-
get the fins.
The
Okay.
fins for the shark
they were
fin
trying to
soup.
get. Okay.
Yeah.
Which
Again, you weren't watching the movie.
No, I
intently.
was. I just didn't. know what was going
Alicia,
on.
You didn't catch-
Alicia is going to get on her soapbox. If you eat
Let's hear it.
shark fin
Let's hear it.
soup, you are a garbage person, and I hope you rot in the bellows of hell. It is
I'm
a
right there with you, Jen.
very
I agree with you, Jen.
Alicia.
No, I thought she said Jen said that. though.
Oh, did Jen say that?
No,
no.
that's
it's
all.
Alicia. You
Well,
are
I
garbage.
thought-
I'm
I
sure
thought she was
Jen
saying Jen was-
agrees, but Jen doesn't usually get on a soapbox. It's all Alicia.
Yeah.
Don't eat shark
I've
fin
never
soup.
even heard of shark fin.
No,
soup.
you probably don't let Jen get on a soapbox, just like my brother doesn't let me get on a soapbox, because it wouldn't be much of an episode if I got to say what. I
What
really
what
wanted.
is shark
Matt-
fin soup?
Oh, it's exactly what it sounds like. So they literally, as
Nope.
you saw, they were pulling up the sharks alive, cutting off the fin, throwing them back in the water, which leaves them. They're just going to die. They're going to be eaten by other sharks that haven't been definned. Because the
That is
fin
awesome.
helps with navigation, everything. It helps with their balance. There is a reason for it. And then very, very, now we have outlawed shark fin soup. I believe in the United States it is outlawed.
Thank God.
Hmm.
Good.
Japan, China, and I mean, I think they were focusing very heavily on that based on the bad man who was ordering the shark fins. I think they were trying to
Mhm.
let you know
Yeah.
the demographic that eats those. I do know, I've heard tale. Even when it was legal, it's so ridiculously expensive that even if it was
Yeah.
something I thought was good, which I don't, it's horrific. It would never be in my budget. Like, I gotta tell you, I'm all for Wagyu beef. I honestly would like to come back as the cow for the Wagyu beef. Go ahead, feed me beer, massage me daily. Do you hear how these cows live before they become
I
a steak?
have.
Like, if you come
Yeah.
back as a cow, coming back as one of those cows is like the dream. Once again,
Yeah.
Wagyu, also off my budget, but I would never eat shark fin soup, but also it's only served in the type of places I would never go.
Oh,
Well,
I think
it sounds disgusting both in taste and in practice. So I'm
Right.
glad it's outlawed.
I mean, I've had not shark fin, but I mean, you know, I've had the frog legs and then the snails and things like that, you know, because I was cooking, so I had to try the different things. But that's something I would never eat, as well as turtle soup. I don't understand that, how people can do that to a turtle. I love turtles. So yeah, and it sounds, and they carry so many diseases anyway. So why the heck? would you
yeah,
wanna
why
eat
do
it?
we
I
have
just
so
don't
many other
understand
animals
that.
to eat?
Okay. I will say
Exactly.
though, at least
So you just said a little bit ago that if you could come back as anything, you would come back as a cow, right?
A Wagyu beef.
Wagyu
cow.
Why
beef cow.
shit, if
Now, Jen, let me ask you this: if this was actually a thing, and you could come back as any animal, what would it be?
Oh, an animal. I feel like either a dolphin or a moose.
Okay.
those are
Okay.
real.
Now, why those two? Why those two? Because we know why Alicia wants to come back as a cow, but why those two?
A Wagyu beef cow.
Yeah,
I
why?
mean, a
sorry,
very
why-
specific
I
cow.
gotta be
Yeah,
specific.
you gotta say the right kind of cow.
Because
What
I'm
about
cow.
that if you say she wants to
If
come back as a
cow's
cow?
not on the table, I'm coming back as a sloth.
Okay.
But if Wagyu beef cow is
They
on
don't
the
live
table,
very long though, Alicia. Then you would have to come back as something else.
But while they do live, they get to be real lazy. So
This is
Yeah. They're my spirit animal, guys. They're my spirit animal.
I
Yeah.
come
So-
back as my son's cat because he's so spoiled and gets
Aw.
to do whatever he
Okay.
wants. So.
Yeah, but you're one of the reasons it's spoiled. So how would you, if you came
Just
back,
because
do you
of
think
my
you would
son,
be still spoiled?
I get to hang out with my son too. So
This-
it
okay.
all works out.
Aw.
So.
Aw.
Ladies,
See, I would come-
don't
I
get
would come back-
excited. It's taken.
That's right.
I would come back as a great white shark. I mean, why not?
I mean, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
And if I were a
You're
dolphin,
like
I-
literally, yeah, you're literally
But
the top of the food
but
chain.
you can never stop swimming or you'll die.
You know what?
How do
I
you
wouldn't
feel
care.
about
That sounds like
I
a
would be born
lot
that
of
way.
exercise.
Way
That's
too much work.
Way too much work.
I don't-
Yeah, but they don't get cancer.
I want to
they
be a
don't get
lazy cat
specialty
sitting on the back of my
diseases.
couch getting fed whenever I want.
Yeah, but
stuff,
see,
you know?
sharks they don't get cancer and none
That's
of these
true.
crazy diseases. So it's like, and then you're the top of the food chain, and yeah, you got to swim a lot, but you're also a beast. You know,
Yeah.
That's true.
you literally have anything you want to eat.
Still
in the
sounds like
ocean.
too much effort.
Let's see, as a dolphin,
No,
I
that's
can
true.
pick you up. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, that's true. That's
That's true.
no, but could we be friends, Jen? Could we
yeah,
be
that's fine.
friends?
Yeah, we'll be shark and dolphin. It'll be like a
And
Disney
dolphin.
movie.
I'm
Yeah,
less
we could come up with a
confused-
cartoon
Yes.
about that. Yeah, yeah.
I'm less
That would be an awesome
confused
cartoon.
by the dolphin, more confused by the moose.
The moose.
Yes, why the moose?
Do
Yeah, I
you
wanna hear
see
about
where
the moose.
moose live?
Oh, Once
You
again, I
don't like the cold.
have not put a lot of thought into this. I
No.
just they're so huge and like nobody messes with them. Like nobody messes with a moose. They just walk around, do whatever they want.
Because they're massive.
Yeah, exactly. And they can
Sure.
just chill and hang
Bring
out.
Cars over, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, steal
But
picnic baskets.
Jen,
like
I go
there.
back to you don't like the cold.
But if I'm a moose, I don't care.
This is true.
It's not like I don't like the cold in general. It's I don't
Okay.
like the cold.
Okay, but it's you with your mind
Yeah.
going into an animal. So what would your answer be different then? If it's you and your mind that now, and you would have to go with all these animal experiences.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because I'd be like, cool, I can walk around, nobody's gonna mess with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you'd have a big fur coat on all the time.
Like
You have your own ice cream, you know, moose
yeah,
trap.
and
No.
I got a kids cartoon made after me.
Yeah, there we
There you
go.
go.
My name would be Rocky for sure.
Rocky and Bullwinkle. I can see it. Alicia could be Rocky, and then you could be Bullwinkle.
Oh, jeez. Well, it's quite a reputation I have for myself here on this podcast. You share
Hey,
a
you're the
few
one that wanted to be
opinions.
the Wyuga beef, you know?
I do. You share one too many opinions. Jeez Louise.
Hey, we got to keep it live here, right? We got to keep the laughter going and the liveness. of the
Always.
show.
So what was your favorite? We'll just get into it. What was your favorite
Okay.
kill of the movie?
I've got to say I mean, we're all about spoilers. I don't know if you are. I mean, I think I asked this question
when it comes to a movie,
to this. Yeah.
we assume you've watched it. If you
Right.
haven't, and
Right.
I have to tell you, I love How Did This Get Made, and I'll listen to Jason Mantzoukas all day
It
long.
is awesome.
So there
Yeah.
were a lot of times that I'm just listening to movies I haven't seen.
Yeah.
That's on me. That's not on them. I can read a title. I know what the movie is. So same thing.
I think Steve at the end with the chainsaw. I mean, the literal picture behind Jen. I literally think that was the best kill in the entire film.
Yes.
It didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. Like, where did she come from? Like, how did they pick the right shark to take out?
It was luck. It's luck.
It's luck.
Matt, can you reel your brother in? Because if he says makes sense one more time, I'm coming through this computer screen.
I don't know if you've listened to our
I'm being
show,
very
but I can't
ironic.
really reel him in.
No, I know.
I've tried. But
Irony is my middle name.
no, I mean, I think that's like the most flashy thing, you know, a dude jumping into a shark's mouth with a chainsaw. But like my favorite personal kill, I liked when the new husband in the new house got killed.
he was just
because,
the boyfriend.
gosh,
though.
we saw him for like 2 minutes, and he was the most
Yeah.
annoying thing I've ever seen in my life.
When he said she's mine now, I was like,
Yeah.
you about to be
Yeah.
the sharks.
But she was like, "Excuse me."
I didn't
If
just
I
talk.
was her, I would have tossed him to the shark at
Yep.
that point. And then he's like, that's not really happening, blah, 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 blah. What I really wanted, what I wanted from that scene is that shark to literally have just taken him through the window. Like, just
Yeah.
boom, head off of me. Like,
Yeah.
Steve's trying to save him.
He was.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
admit, Finn is, I don't really know, and maybe in the other movies, she does kind of say you're always there for other people, you're never there for your family. Then the sister tries to have the daughter some weird exposition while we're trying to build bombs. Bitch, this ain't the time.
Right. Well, he says that too. He's like, "You want to do this right now?"
Right now. Okay. Your brother has nutted up. He's about to go into a fucking helicopter and throw some bombs at sharks. You need to equally nut up.
Yeah.
Apparently, the father was some sort of previous military. I didn't catch which branch.
I didn't either.
But I think it was Marines only because he says the Semper Fi.
No, well, they say Semper Paratus, and that's actually a Coast Guard.
That's
the Coast Guard logo
That's
is Semper Paratus, always ready. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it would
I
kind of
also
make
feel
sense
like
for
the
him to be in the
Boy
Coast
Scouts
Guard
do
too.
that.
Yeah.
Always prepared as Boy Scouts, I think.
Yeah.
So it's ready, prepared, same thing.
Yeah.
I love that his name is Finn too. They really just laid on
That's
the.
the first
Yeah.
thing I found out about this movie.
They tried real hard with that one. They really made an effort to come up with that.
Yeah,
name.
first thing I learned about this movie was the main character's name is Finn. I was like, okay, well, we're gonna start there.
I love it. I love it. It's hilarious. It's so on the nose. It's like, and they give zero shits about it.
The greatest surfer on the planet literally is how they built him. I mean, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, it's
His
like
name has to be Finn.
yeah. I mean,
So
he was in the water. Like I don't know if something like this happened to me. I mean, not that it would ever happen, but if something like this had happened, I don't think I'd get in the water for a really long time, if at all, ever again. Like, you know, like bathing myself would probably be my limit. You know, if this was actually something that actually happened, which Lord help us if it does. If it's part of the apocalypse, I don't want to be part of it.
But you can't be anywhere. It's the shark. It was on land. It was everywhere. So water wouldn't be than where you're standing on land.
If you're by shore, then yeah. I mean, this is why I'd never live in Florida, because I don't want to live in a place that I have to run away. I potentially have to run away from once a year, you know, when hurricanes come or whatever. So yeah, staying away from the shore, that'll probably help out a little bit, but
don't let him tell you that. It's because of the seagulls. That's why he doesn't want to go near the shore. He has a thing with seagulls.
No, it's birds in general.
Birds in general, but seagulls are probably one of the worst if you think about it, because they don't care about if you're human or what.
F those seagulls.
wow, poor seagulls.
Yeah, he's not a big fan of birds.
What was your favorite celebrity role in here?
I really enjoyed Nova. She was doing the most in a bikini the entire time, so God bless her, really.
Yeah.
I thought she had the most kills.
She had the most kills. She was doing the damn thing. I thought it was funny. So shout out to the people. Thank you to Crystal. Thank you to Chrissy, thank you to everybody who I did a watch party in the group last night.
Till.
Fertilla came in, Chris popped in, a bunch of people popped in. It was great. But they were talking about how she kept going, you have an ex-wife?
Yeah, I was like, how long has she worked with this guy?
Right. So everybody was like, she's acting like a girlfriend who found out about the other family. I'm like, no, if I worked for a man for more than 3 weeks and found out he had a family I knew nothing about, that's just weird fucking behavior. Like, especially
he was also surprised that he had kids.
I think that's more just bad. That's part of the bad writing was, okay, she worked for him that long and doesn't know that. Like, she would know, but it's just part of the writing.
That note too, yeah.
But she happened to know a lot about John Hurt's George's character, or George, because you know he
not where he lived though.
Yeah, I know, but he visited the bar and he was like, oh, she knows more about me than anybody. You know, but yet she didn't know anything about her boss that she was infatuated with.
Who she has a crush on.
Yeah. Who I guess you get the idea that her and his son end up together at the end of the. I mean, I haven't seen any of the following films, but it just kind of gave that vibe to me.
It looks like it's going there, and honestly, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I think they would be very nice together. She
Yeah.
She is a woman who can. I mean, she stayed alive inside the belly of a shark, guys. Like, golf
This is
clap
true.
for that.
Long
I
hole.
mean,
Yeah. She was a baddie. She was a baddie.
Yeah.
You know,
she
one
went
thing
up
I but
in that helicopter. She was shooting everything,
yep.
reloading guns, not a care in the world. She saved many a life.
Yes. So like whenever the shark gets on top of their car, she's driving
Yeah.
and like it comes to the thing and the first thing he grabs is a bat. And they're and he's getting bit and all this stuff is happening and she finally is like, here, hold the wheel or something, grabs a shotgun, and kills him, does what they should have done. She's got to drive, she's got to fight the shark. She was doing
But
everything.
here's the thing. You've already seen 3 times. She's an excellent shot, right?
Yeah.
She's my person with the gun. Why is she driving?
Right.
Get Tara Reid, who, as beautiful as she is, at this moment,
At this moment. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
Because she gets a little better, although, Tara, darling, you're a beautiful woman. Please stop with the plastic surgery. We want your face to be able to move again in the future.
Yeah.
Anybody else clock that? I was like, her face does not move.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Well,
Syndrome.
and it kind of gave me a scary movie type vibe on some of the way the characters were cast, you know, because who would have thought Ian Ziering and did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Ian Ziering and Tara Reid were going to be your main stars of this film. Like, who thought that?
Yeah.
Like you're like, okay, we're going to make a really, really horrible movie, horrible name,
90
horrible
stars.
premise, and we're going to find
Yeah.
the worst
Who's
actors
suffering right now?
in their life right now, the worst actors in their life in general. Let's go ahead and hire them to be the stars of this godly awful movie.
Well, it's that, you know, again, they were those 90s stars, so it was our
Yeah.
generation just before, about us, just
Well,
before.
and
We love nostalgia. Don't even front.
well,
Yeah.
I
Look at
get
all
that.
of us. I mean, we've all
Breakfast
got.
Club, we're doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love it. Please, we are the generation. Us Gen Xers, we eat nostalgia.
Yeah.
We eat nostalgia like it's Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know, it's funny because, you know, it kind of brought me back a little bit to some of these old monster flicks, you know, that they had back in the days of black and white, you know, where you had the ginormous spiders and
Oh yeah.
somehow these spiders were destroying towns and they were ginormous.
Didn't the movie Them have like giant
Yeah, they
ants?
had-
Something like
Yeah.
that? Ants?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got, you know, ants that are killing people, spiders, arachnophobia, you know.
It's a creature feature. I mean,
It
they're
is
all
a creature. It's
features.
consistently with a creature feature from back in the day, and those movies back then, and maybe back in the 50s or something like this movie would have been a lot more liked, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Speaking of arachnophobia, one night, so the parents were like in another room, like hanging out, I guess like in the fireplace room of my friend's house. So they were like, it was all one room, but they were fairly far away. And so we found that arachnophobia was on. So we put that on. Then we changed the channel to Nickelodeon. And we kept hitting like back and forth. Whenever we'd hear a parent's foot start to move, we were like 8 or 9. We would just keep doing that. So I've seen every other 10 minutes of that movie.
It's a phenomenal movie. I mean,
I love
John Goodman playing the pest control guy.
My favorite.
I mean, he's like a cowboy almost in a way, you know, like a
gunslinger or
gunslinger,
whatever.
you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's great.
That's a great movie. It's just something we could never talk about on here because it's such a visual movie. It's more visual than story and everything.
True,
so
yeah.
it's a great flick,
And
though.
I
I
think
really
that's
love
what
it.
Sharknado was going with. More visual, no need for story.
Yeah, we have a story to talk about.
It needs to be in the trash can.
There has to be
of movies that you should never watch.
there has to be some kind of a drinking game, you know, based on all the cheapness of it and all that, right?
Oh,
I will look it up.
you know what?
I gotta see what
Drinking game right here. Cheers.
There you go. Did you guys notice Robbie Wrist in this? If
No.
You know, Rob,
Yes, he was the teacher.
the bus, the person on the bus or whatever. Yeah, he played the voice of Michelangelo in the original Ninja Turtle movies.
Yeah.
I think he's on some of your anime stuff that you like too.
Yeah, I think so.
So
Oh, Ed likes anime.
I love anime.
But I couldn't see who he was.
Yeah.
Oh,
I recognized him and I'm like, who is that? And then I looked on the thing and I was like, oh yeah, that's the dude who played the voice of Michael
Well,
Anderson.
it was so funny when Finn goes to him. He's like, yeah, fire and rescue said they were on their way. And Finn's like, well, do you want to wait for them? And he was like, no, I do not. If this had not been a sci-fi movie, like this, if this had been Netflix or something, it would have been like, oh, fuck no, get us off this bus.
Well, and that's the thing is that like when you're trying to write a scene for suspense, and I understand it got to you emotionally because of the kids and everything, but when you're trying to do a scene to suspense and you have about 20 kids and they were going up that rope as slowly as they were going, you're just like, this isn't a very tense scene and everything. And then it quickly flashes forwards and all 20 of them, it's like 4 hours later, they already got everybody out.
Well, it actually says that Robbie Rist actually co-wrote a handful of the songs that are featured on the soundtrack.
Oh, wow.
God bless you, Robbie. God bless.
Just adding to the authentic character of this movie.
Yeah, and it does say Semper Paratus is with the motto of the Coast Guard, so that's kind of cool. Some of these stuff, like what was did anybody get the total gross of this film?
I think it was like 20 million, wasn't it?
That'll be on.
I got it. Don't you worry. I got it right here.
I thought I read like a $2 million budget and they made like 20 million or something back or something like that.
Where is it? Right here. The budget was $2 million. Let's just see. It got a 3.3 out of 10 on IMDb.
That's pretty good.
You people don't have enough love for the Sharknado, and why is it not giving me the
You know, there's a Sharknado 5 about to come out.
No, I think it's 6,
Six.
right?
It's 6.
Two-headed shark.
No, the 6 is the about time or not about time. Or
well,
Five.
it's the 5 is called Global Swarm.
Oh, global swarming. Yeah.
2
That's
is
5.
the second one. 3 is oh hell no. 4th is the Fourth Awakens. 5 is global warming. The last Sharknado, it's about time. Sharknado, Feeding Frenzy. Sharknado, Heart of Sharkness. Oh, this looks stupid. Now I'm into more like this, and there's something called Sharktopus. It's a cross-threaded shark and octopus, and it looks as horrible as it looks.
They're giving him more money to make these films.
Yeah.
Like Sharknado 3, they gave him $2.4 million. The last Sharknado the last Sharknado? I don't know. They gave him $3 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
$3 million to make that. Sharknado 4, $3 million, and they gave him $5 million to make Sharknado 5. I mean, and you think about it, these films are pulling in like $20 million. It's like, hopefully, like Ian Ziering ended up getting some sort of
I'm
what
sure
was it with the
like
a certain
back
percentage.
the back end. Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
There's no gross on this. I mean, I'm sure I could find it somewhere, but obviously there was no box office.
Right, because it's on
yeah.
TV. I wonder if they are able to measure that, though. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just looking at it, and I was thinking, how can a movie called Sharknado only get truly ridiculous when it's discovered after a long time driving that there's actually a NOS button in their getaway vehicle? And what's a Shark Tornado movie without a little random Fast and Furious action,
Right.
Yeah.
You got those.
How is that the point where it gets ridiculous?
I mean, we're really splitting on hairs on where it got ridiculous, guys.
But I think that's the point where I was like, okay.
Listen to this.
I know how I have to watch this movie now, and I enjoyed it after that point for doing that too. So.
Check this out. Sharknado, the once joke of a film, has officially become the most successful movie franchise of all time. Okay.
Wow.
The 4-year-old franchise on July 11th made $4.5 billion in total franchise gross, beating Disney Pixar's $4.502 billion according to filmsite.org.
They just record that of people watching it afterward or on a TV show or something.
Yeah. Well, apparently, Ian Ziering only makes like $500,000 per picture. I mean, I say only,
yeah, poor guy.
Yeah, that's not.
It was 18 days of work, so
yeah,
he'll be all right.
And Tara Reid apparently makes 125,000, but either of these people have not been.
If you guys want to break that down, did the math. 27,000, more than 27,000 a day.
Wow,
that's insane.
That's a good paycheck.
That's
I hear that they're paying ICU nurses in Florida right now like $28,000 a week.
Ooh.
For what is it for? It might be home health care or something like that. But
Yeah.
I heard that. I was like, gosh, the insanity of what's going on right now.
Oh my gosh. I found a Sharknado drinking game.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Drink every time the chainsaw started.
Shots for.
Tara Reid screams.
Oh, we're dead. We're dead already. The bitch never stops screaming. Okay. Jesus.
Finn saves someone at the last second.
We're dead. We're dead.
Yeah. Someone dies. We're dead.
We're dead.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that die in this film.
There's a reference to the movie Jaws, which I did. Huh?
I clocked 2. How
I got the bigger
helicopter.
We're going to need a bigger copter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time a news broadcast is shown.
Okay.
Every time the shark's point of view is shown. And then you finish your drink when the first Sharknado touches down or when Finn gets devoured.
Oh, jeez.
That'll get you pretty saucy.
Those news reports, man. I like how they extended a lot of the stuff. Like when the news reports go on, I was like, ding, 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 ding. And it did that for a good minute before it actually kicked in. And then also him cutting his way out of the shark. They spent a good 5 minutes showing him cutting his way out of the shark.
One of my favorite newscast scenes where all the old people are sitting around the channel and then the caster just gets eaten.
Yeah.
At that moment, wouldn't that be the time you just poke your head out the side and say, hey guys, we're all going to go to the fucking basement. Let's do it. That's not the moment.
No, but they'd find their way into a basement somehow. I feel like they found their way into everything.
Okay, here's a dumb question.
No dumb questions, only dumb answers.
There you go.
Well, can we have both then? So here's the dumb question. Is there anything in this movie, even if it's just something let's just say something small or whatever, is there anything in this movie that could change the movie to being any less awkward to watch? Any better? Do you think there's any part in this movie that they could have changed to make it just a little bit good enjoyment to watch?
You said big or small?
Yeah.
I think if they had, which nobody does this anymore, but if they had used practical effects for the sharks, I think that might have given it a little push for me because I love practical.
Yes.
George living to the end.
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
George was the comic relief we all needed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I didn't like the studio in the car shots where it was nothing but white on the outside.
Yeah.
I can kind of flow with a ridiculous movie and kind of enjoy the ridiculousness of it. But in parts like that, I'm just like, oh, come on. You got to put in a little bit of effort here, because
money, you got to keep going because they get more money and it'll be less.
I'll keep going for you guys.
They're trying to keep on track with the Fast and Furious films. That's exactly what they're trying to do. They're just trying to keep as many as the Fast and Furious is doing.
Yeah, and I'll watch all of them. And then when we have you guys on for The Shining, I think is coming up. We wanted to have you guys on for something like that. Then I can let you know how the rest.
Yeah,
of the
but let's have them on. Like I said, I'd like to do for us because even The Shining is a little bit ridiculous. The
Shining is one of the best movies, considered to be one of the best movies. Yeah, but that's
what I'm saying. I think our next movie together should be like a movie that just is a lot more not serious, but like a Jason or a Freddy or a Michael Myers,
a mainstream horror.
Yeah, mainstream horror. Not some of these nutbag movies.
Jason in space again? Anyone? Jason?
Oh, good Lord!
Or in Manhattan.
That was so bad. That was such a bad movie. I mean, don't get me wrong. My favorite one of the Jasons is probably the one where they're on the boat. I love that movie. I don't know why that's one of my favorite Friday the 13th.
That's for me. That's the second worst. The first worst for me is A New Beginning because I don't like somebody else not being. We got to have a Voorhees running around.
Yeah.
But how can you say
and
Jason
stuff.
X was not worse
Because
than all of them?
although it was in space, it was still a cheesy Jason movie. It still pretty much followed along with a lot of the stuff that that makes a Jason movie. I mean,
sir, we were in space. Idiots allowed Jason Voorhees to be defrosted. I think you need to go back and rewatch if you think that this movie is in any way okay.
I enjoy it.
So long.
I think it has
we
one of the
watched
best
Jason
kills.
X, and what else did we watch the other night in the group, Jen? Jason X and
Jason Goes to Hell.
Jason Goes
I
to Hell.
love that movie because I had the comic book before that movie came out.
Oh,
I remember
my
that.
And I
gosh.
remember I wasn't supposed to have this comic book because it wasn't the very, I was probably like 12 or 13, something like that. But I was that age and I was not supposed to have this comic book. I was not supposed to watch the movie.
A lot of people didn't like this movie because you only had Jason at the beginning and at the end. Yeah, you had the little slug monster.
That
and
thing was so
everything.
gross.
But I mean, there was no Jason, so it was just like people being inhabited by the
Yeah, all these random. Yeah, it didn't feel like it would have been a fun movie had it not been.
noodles
Friday
come
the-
out of a man's neck. So there's that. There's your practical effects, Jen. Ramen noodles just out of the neck.
Hey, at least they tried. Back then, they came up with all kinds of stuff.
I think they were CGI noodles, to be honest.
Yeah. So have I ever asked this question, or have we talked about this?
Probably.
What is our favorite horror movie character? I guess.
You mean killer, slasher person?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you mean like a victim or?
No. I'm saying like mine personally is Freddy Krueger.
I was gonna say he's mine.
Yeah.
Always
has been since I was a little kid. I mean, it's because it's the most terrifying aspect I think of horror movies.
Like
yes, he could get you to sleep. Yeah, there's no way to hide from it because you have to sleep. It's just not like if this killer came after you because you drank alcohol. And Alicia might not be good, but everybody else could just stop drinking, and then we would not have that problem.
You're laying it on thick.
I'm just kidding, Alicia. I love you. I'm just kidding.
This episode started out with Andrew being in trouble with Alicia, and then you're just digging yourself deeper, man.
No, I'm just saying, like Freddy. There's no way to get away from. Jason, don't go to the stupid lake. Michael Myers, don't live in his house,
or don't be a family member.
And Chucky, just stay away from all dolls.
Or kick him.
Yeah,
yeah. Like I've never seen Michael Myers run. Like people always get caught stupid. Because
I don't ever get in the car and drive away.
Like if you just drive, he's not gonna come get you. So yeah, to me, Freddy is the scariest.
So,
and he talks.
And Children of the Corn, stay away from cornfields. You know what I mean? But now Pinhead.
So I have a weird answer, and it ties into your Children of the Corn, which is why I want to stop you.
Okay.
Mine is Randall Flagg, who is the main protagonist, and but if you know the Stephen King interwebs, he is a minion of the Crimson King, as is He Who Walks Behind the Rose, as is Pennywise, Delbert Grady, whatever you want to call him.
That's such a good answer, Alicia. That's like the best one, I think. And
that's
so great.
The reason for me that Randall is the worst, and you see him once again, he shows up in the whole Dark Tower series.
I was going to ask if he was in Dark Tower.
They don't call him Randall in that. They call him the Man in Black. But Flagg, to me, he is the scariest because he can go through like different times, different places. He encompasses all the worlds.
Yeah.
He is the highest minion of the Crimson King, which means basically all of the other Crimson King minions follow him.
He's like the right hand of the devil.
Yes. He was at one time trusted by Roland's parents, and that's one of the reasons that Roland is after him. If you read all the books, you know that. So, and the most is he is in to the black arts, the magic. He knows magic, and magic is crazy. That's scary. That's right.
You ain't lying.
The gypsy
I've
witch.
seen all the Harry Potters, Alicia. I know magic's crazy.
Don't as to quote our dear boys, Jensen and Jared.
Yes, absolutely.
Damn it, witches again. They're so gross.
Yes. Man, I am so disappointed that they're not going to be at this film festival in Dallas. This horror film festival. I was actually like, my brother was like, hey, maybe Jensen and Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki are going to be there. I'm like, this is going to be so awesome because my wife is a big Supernatural fan. So is his wife.
We could have gotten them there.
Yeah.
If they were coming.
Oh man.
Probably.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You trying to tell me Freddie Prinze Jr.
It's not enough.
So out of the two for you guys, which is your favorite?
The two.
Jensen and Jared.
Oh, well, I still have not watched Supernatural. But from what I know, but just based off their acting, I probably have to say I think it's Jensen Ackles.
I have a man crush on Jensen Ackles. He's just so awesome.
He is awesome.
If we are going by personality, Jensen. If we're going by looks, though, God, I love a tall man. Bring it to me, Jared. Take that item off
my
the
wife's
top
the
shelf
same
for
exact
me,
way.
buddy.
Well,
Take
my
that
wife's
item.
my wife's favorite episode, and I'm sure you know this one, Alicia. When Jensen, I'm gonna give a little hint here, but when Dean goes to hell and comes back in that following season, he meets Jared at the hotel, and he's not wearing a shirt, and he just got out of the shower. My wife will watch that episode over and over again.
It's a good episode.
Completely shirtless, and I'm like, put a shirt on. And my wife's like, no, don't put a shirt on. Don't put a shirt on.
The cat has arrived.
Yeah, Jen, you really got to watch the series.
I know. I started it. My friend who passed away, he got me started on it, and so I need to go back and keep going on it.
It's awesome, and you know these guys are Texas boys, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I heard about that too.
Because Jensen was actually on, I think, Guiding Light or as the
Guiding Light. You think it's Guiding Light?
Okay, he's on one of the soap opera. No, my mom made me watch that.
And the Restless?
No, I was gonna say.
But I grew up watching
The World Turns. As the World Turns. Is it that one?
No, it's Young and the
Now you're just naming soap operas.
EastEnders.
The #1 soap opera on Channel 7.
Hospital.
But see, I grew up. My mom used to watch Guiding Light like all day. Not all day. Okay, I don't want to say it like that's all she did all day. But because she'll kill me. But no, she used to watch Guiding Light, and so she used to make me watch Guiding Light.
Days of Our Lives, baby. Days of Our Lives.
So we were all wrong.
You were all wrong. Not a single one of you had it.
I said Days of Our Lives after I said Guiding Light.
Yeah, but Jared Padalecki was actually on Gilmore Girls first.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
He was one of the main characters because he was the boyfriend of the daughter, right?
Yes. So, and very funnily, some news.
I'll allow it.
Some news outlets and stuff made fun of him, you're leaving a show that's doing very well in its 4th year to do the pilot that doesn't sound like it's going to go anywhere.
Wow.
16 seasons later.
The longest running CW show ever.
We know who got the last laugh there.
Yeah.
I started watching that show the day it came out. Like I watched it at the very beginning because me and my brother we're big Smallville fans, and we watched Smallville back in the day, and then it was
Jensen
literally the
had
next year.
He did.
He played Coach Teal.
Hey, Alicia, I wanted to ask you real quick. Who was your favorite Randall Flagg? Was it Jamie Sheridan or Alexander Skarsgård?
Well,
have you watched the new one, Alicia?
I won't.
Really?
I won't. And because I don't want to get political on air, I'll tell you why when we're done recording.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
But neither, and you're all gonna hate me. And I know the movie got panned, and I know people hated it. I loved Matthew McConaughey as Flagg. Loved him. Thought he was great. Now,
you like Idris as Roland?
I did. I did.
Yeah,
he was very good, and I would listen. HBO Max You did Game of Thrones. There is absolutely no reason you can't do justice to the Dark Tower. Let's get this party started. I don't know what the problem is.
We don't
had
like
fucking dragons and incest. We can have a story of friendship and love conquering evil again and again and again. We can have it. We need it. The time is now. Do it.
But they're not going to. They're doing another Game of Thrones, so they want more dragons and more incest.
We don't like
apparently.
talking about Game of Thrones here because literally the last 2 seasons.
I
never watched it.
Ruined
And I
the
never
show
will.
for
Such
us.
a waste of time. It was such a like they build up for this whole winter, this whole war, and then you can't you can't see anything during the battle. And they rushed it, so it was so bad.
The fact that you could literally see the coffee cups.
Oh,
on the
that
set.
shows you how they just didn't care anymore.
How
Like,
rushed it was, yeah.
ironically, they were excited because they were asked to do Star Wars, and
yeah.
so they just kind of rushed through. And it was like, well, you kind of shot yourself in the foot there because everyone hates you for
And on top of that,
Good job, Alicia.
But on top of that, they will not give. They didn't. They turned him down for the Star Wars role after the fact, just recently because they have so much hatred from these seasons. This is what I believe. But now they're not doing the Star Wars anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They shot themselves in the foot because they rushed this. Now everyone hates them, and now they don't want them associated with it. So
no, they did a brilliant job. You know, the first couple seasons, and the Battle of the Bastards is like my favorite cinematic scene in any movie. Really, I mean that whole battle was just phenomenal.
I used to recommend the show, and
yeah, I can't do that anymore. I'm like,
I can't because I'll be like, hey, the show's good. It's just it doesn't have a good resolution, so there's no point.
Yeah, and because we had watch parties over at my brother's house. So, you know, the whole family would come over and we'd watch it, and then we were getting excited and getting into it, and it was just all of a sudden it was just a letdown, you know.
Yeah, just pump the brakes on you, and you're like, okay, well,
yeah.
Real quick to get shark related again. Have you guys seen a trailer for Noah's Shark?
no, but that sounds awesome.
Yeah, instead of Noah's Ark, it's Noah's Shark. I think it's supposed to come out this year.
Got it, sir. That sounded great.
Yeah, I don't think you needed to explain that to anybody. I mean, I know I'm a quart of rum punch sangria in, but I still got it.
Noah's Shark.
I know what you mean when you say Noah's Shark.
So if anybody tried to compare Sharknado to Jaws, would you just punch him in the face? I have to ask.
Oh, yes. Oh,
If-
for sure.
If anybody got to that point where say, wow, this is a lot like Jaws, you know, or Jaws is a lot like this movie, would you punch him right in the mouth?
Yes. There's actually, I just saw a documentary, and I think I'm going to look to watch it. Wait, let me get back because I lost it.
Now I'm gonna share that trailer on our Facebook page.
For Noah's Shark.
Please do.
It's from the makers of Velocipaster.
Yes.
And Tsunami Bee.
I love Velocipaster.
Guys, there is just some.
How do they combine those two? How sacrilegious is that
Have you
film?
seen it?
No.
No, it's so good. It's so bad. It's like
I
it's a
have to
bad
watch
movie
it.
that knows it's bad. Like it's not. It knows
And
it's bad.
that's what we need in life. Guys, so there is a documentary that I think I'm gonna queue up soon. It's called Sharksploitation, and it delves into the subgenre spawned by Jaws. So like all the people who like decided Jaws made a lot of money, so let's like keep doing shark movies.
Yeah. I mean that's.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, sharks don't really have a lot of depth to them. I mean, get it?
I see what you did there.
We liked it.
Have you seen Tsunami Bee? Is that any good?
No, I have not. That
Like
sounds.
Tsunami and Bees.
That's-
No,
Tsunami
we're
Bee.
good. Oh no, the shark. We could do the Wicker Man together, talking about serious, not the remake.
I actually
the
like
Which one? I was
original.
gonna ask which one.
I
Yeah,
like the
original.
remake. I like the remake.
You don't
I like
want
the
to.
Yeah.
You don't want to delve into
Nicolas
Nicolas Cage's psychoticness.
We tried. We really tried, and with an episode, I think didn't
Face
we?
Off.
Yeah, Face Off. We tried to dwell. Yeah, I don't know if you ever watched that Community show, but Abed does a
Yes.
thing where he watches Nicolas Cage and he just can't turn it off, and it's like It's just
I
he's
love
one of those.
Abed.
But there's Oscar buzz over Nicolas Cage's new movie, right?
Which one? Which new movie?
I heard that there's what's the
Certainly
one that he
not
just came out?
Willy's
Pig.
Wonderland.
It's called Pig.
Oh,
Have you seen that
I
Pig?
didn't see that yet.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot of things about it.
It sounds very John Wickish. I guess somebody
Oh.
stole his pig, so he goes into the city to find his pig and just wrecks a bunch of people. But they're actually talking about like Oscar budget for this movie.
Wow.
That's just. I mean,
Sounds
they're
like Babe
struggling
Pig in
to
the
come
City.
up with movies nowadays.
Right, pig in the city.
And you know they have all.
Yeah, I mean they're really struggling nowadays to find.
But
I
I'm
mean,
not trying to
titles.
be.
Yeah, I don't know
I'm
why.
not trying to be a bitch, but we've listed a bunch of movies today that have all been based on award-winning novels. Jaws, The Dark Tower, Misery,
Yeah.
The Shining, The Stand. I mean, I know Stephen King's number one, but there's The Hunger Games,
No.
Harry Potter. We go to the well, read a fucking book, because I know 6 books in my head right now that if you made them into a movie, they would sell. They would sell. I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 6.
And you see
Just
Hollywood
right
doing
up
that
here.
more and more.
Mhm.
And I have to tell you, you want to do this creature feature stuff? Montauk Monster, probably one of the best creature feature books I have read of recent.
Is it about an alligator or something?
Like the
No,
island of
it's
Montauk.
So here on Long Island in Montauk,
Yeah.
a couple years ago, so dogs had gotten into the water and they ended up looking weird when they came to shore. We have a facility called Plum Island that does testing on viruses, animals, etc. The
Yay.
author extrapolated the idea, what if those animals had come to shore alive? First of all, what's great about it, 3 days tops, amazing. Love a quick storyline. It's less than 400 pages, so easy to make into a movie. It's so well written. And also, I have to tell you, and I'm not trying to sound snobby, but things that get cast, not just on Long Island, but for some reason, people enjoy the feel of small town island life. They like to watch it. And as big as Long Island is, certain places like the East End, like Montauk, still have a very small town feel. And also part of the book, because we have the Real Housewives of New York City film out here all the time. There is a scene in which the Real Housewives are filming and the animals get into their set, and it's fantastic.
That's
What
hilarious.
to say about that?
That's awesome.
And I mean, you just showed that clip on your freaking. I mean, please cast Ramona Singer. Let her do something with this crazy, and you got yourself ahead. I'm telling you, the fact that nobody's picked up that book is crazy to me.
They probably have the rights
Well,
to it and just don't use it.
Yeah, probably,
Yeah.
and that's even more disgusting.
Yeah.
And you
Because
like
somebody-
books, so go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was reading a book. I think it was Dean Koontz, but it was like called The Zoo, and it
The
was
Zoo.
I wanna
No,
call it-
so that was
not Dean Koontz.
nope, it was James Patterson, and he did it
That's
with
right.
somebody else where the animals.
Yeah.
Yes, so CBS did The Zoo.
Yeah,
You can
Yeah.
watch it.
but the
Did you
book
know
was like, the book was so much.
Did
better,
you know?
though.
Oh, you did watch it?
Yeah,
I did
I
not.
watched pieces of it, but
no,
the
I
book
only
was just
really
phenomenal.
watched season 1. The book was so good. And then,
It was.
Michael Ledgwidge is who he did it with.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
it's basically
That book was phenomenal, and it was about basically animals rising up and attacking, basically going after people and killing people, and it was animals all over the world, and it was
Yeah.
like
Oh,
they were
yes.
hearing a noise.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it was a phenomenal book.
That show was really good.
Yeah.
Let's look into that.
The show was
That was really
okay
good. I enjoyed
because
it.
it really. And here's what I have to say, guys, with these shows: don't try to extrapolate more seasons than your source material gives you. This is when things go off the reservation real quick. It happens
Like the dome.
Oh yeah, you knew where I was going
dome.
with that, Matt.
Yep.
And Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones,
You know,
yeah.
Once they got past their source material, they had to rely on themselves, and it just went downhill.
But the dome was like it could have been ended in one season, one mini
like a
series.
mini-series, yeah.
Yeah.
Just done once and get it
And
over with.
It started
Wow.
out really good.
Yeah, it really did.
It started
really
out
had
good.
such strong casting. There was no reason for that to go as poorly as it did. It was casted so phenomenally. That was just a money grab that didn't need to happen that ruined a great source material. And I gotta tell you,
It's Stephen King, of course you like it though, right?
the book, yes. The show, no.
Yeah.
No. And I'm one of those people that I will turn it off if it deviates too far from the source material. And not just King source material. That's what happened with the zoo. We went past season 1 and it went off the reservation. So I was just done. Like,
They do that to the movies too. I mean, even look at Harry Potter. They left so much of the books in Harry Potter out in the movies, and some of the most important stuff, like, you know, the stuff with Snape and stuff like that. You know, I mean, you got into a lot of history of Snape.
They did still do a pretty good job.
They did, but it was, there was so much more that they could have put into the film.
It would have been a good series, yeah.
you guys, when we do the title for this, we're going to have to put it
Sharknado and everything else.
Yeah.
Sharknado,
maybe.
kind of.
Kind of.
Sharknado.
It's fitting. It's
Sharknado?
fitting for a podcast over this movie. I mean, is it not though? I mean, it really is.
Well, I think we end up having so much fun together anyways. We end up just talking about everything else. So whatever comes to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys read. So what are some of your, are there any books that you've read recently that you would want to see made?
I read I read some Christian stuff and things like that, but I do read the Left Behinds, and they did do movies on these, but they did such a horrible job on it.
Yeah,
that if they were to make like mini series of it, like they do with Stephen King stuff, like make the mini series like they do with the Stephen King stuff, you know, I think it would have been so much better. But there's so much material in it, so you would have to kind of compress it a lot.
I think if it had been made now instead, it would have been a lot better.
Yes, absolutely.
And they kind of made a version. They made that Leftovers, which is it was pretty close to Left Behind.
Yeah.
That show, Leftovers.
I never really watched it. Was it any good or?
Like I didn't care about the characters. It was so slow, and I was just like, okay, I don't care about any of these people. I don't like these people actually. Not just don't care, but I actually do not like them. I had to stop watching, but I heard everyone was like, it's so good, and I'm like, ah.
Have you ever heard of Christopher Rice, Anne Rice's son?
Yes.
So his very first novel was one of the novels I read a long time ago. It's called The Density of Souls, and that's one that I've always wanted to see turned into like a little mini series because it was like his first thing. But it was such a good story in that book.
Yeah.
I don't know if you.
Me personally, anything Dean Koontz could be made into a movie. I mean, I'm sorry, like every single one of his books, I love all his books.
Yeah, we needed Odd Thomas. We did
an Odd Thomas.
We did have one Odd Thomas.
It was okay, and it was pretty good, but they could have done a lot better.
But there's like four to five different Odd Thomas books now.
And you know, can turn that into like 10 seasons.
Yeah.
Maybe want to read the book. I got to get it I've had it from the library. I need to read.
Man. Yeah. The second one, he goes actually into a monastery.
Oh wow!
He's in a monastery because he really hasn't fully recovered from his love, and
he didn't go to Vegas like he did in the movie.
No, he goes to a monastery and Elvis is still with him. You know, I mean, Elvis is with him pretty much the entire time.
That was so serious.
But anything Dean Koontz does, he does this. I mean, he is just, he's not as crazy vivid as Stephen King, I feel like, but at the same time, like, his storytelling is just amazing, you know. I mean, and the ideas he comes up with, because he does a lot of in his books, he has a lot of dogs, you know, because he even in his pictures and behind his books and everything, it shows him with his golden retrievers and things like that. I mean, he's a huge dog person. So a lot of dogs are in his books and stuff. And they're so well written. So I think, he's got hundreds of books that they could make into movies, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Michael Crichton's got a good catalog and all that.
Well,
But
they made movies like 6 movies and a TV show out of those books.
Yeah.
hey, so what is it about this movie Sharknado that brings you guys back to it all the time?
Sharknado. All the
is
time
that what
is a strong word.
No, like I said, this is my first full viewing. I think because in our heads, I think both of us agree, like, we do enjoy these tangents with you. So we wanted to, I think we talked about Sharknado when we did the trivia podcast with you guys.
That's right.
And we were like, okay, we'll have you on for that. But I enjoy the tangent.
I do too.
And so I enjoy having you guys on for movies where we don't, I don't think our listening audience.
Backdrop.
The movie is a backdrop. It leads us into other fun discussions, I guess.
Right.
This movie deserves to be talked about for about 10 minutes, and then
Yeah,
that's really all you can say.
And somehow we're on an hour and 30.
So what TV shows are you guys watching right now? Off on that point.
Actually, so I felt like a bad wife today because everybody, I didn't have cable when this came out, so I'm catching up now that it's on one of my streamings, The League.
Oh yeah.
So I put it on, and I got 5 minutes in, not because I didn't love it, because I go, Ed will love this with me. I need to stop and watch this with Ed. So Apple Plus is having a lot of really good shows. Me and him enjoy Mythic Quest. If you were a fan of The Office and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and video gaming, just imagine a wonderful mashup. So Charlie Day and Rob McInerney created it. Rob is
there you go.
in. Rob stars in Mythic Quest. My favorite character of the show is the HR lady. I love everything about her. That poor woman is doing the most with the least. God bless you. It is fantastic. And then they also took my favorite Stephen King book. The Tower is my favorite series, but of my books, Lisey's story is a book. It's very much Stephen King's love letter to Tabitha of, God forbid these things were to happen to her, would she be able to survive? This story is about a very famous writer who passes away. His wife, Lisey, has all of his unpublished stuff, and now a crazy man is after her. Can she survive? And it is so well done. It is so well cast. And I have to tell you, I was not on board for Julianne Moore when I heard she was cast. Not because I don't like her, but because Lisey is always described as a very diminutive woman, and that everybody is always shocked by how fierce she is because of how diminutive she is. She is called Little Lisey by everyone in her life. And I do not feel that Julianne Moore, beautiful, talented actress, she is not diminutive.
She's strong.
I have to say,
old,
she is bringing so much to this role that I have thrown that all out the window. I don't even care anymore. Julianne, you are doing Lisey so well. It is so well done. If you have Apple Plus, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend The Morning Show. I highly recommend Mythic Quest. Those are really good. And then if you have Paramount Plus, The Good Fight, love it. I've
wanted to get in that because I love the guy that plays what's his name? He was on Dead Like Me. Princess's Bride.
Mandy Patinkin.
Mandy Patinkin. I know he's on Fight, and I'll pretty much watch anything that guy does because everything he does, he's one of my favorite actors, and he's such a phenomenal.
Did you guys watch Dead Like Me? Did you ever see that show?
I started it. I got like 2 episodes in. I have series ADD. I keep starting shows and I gotta go back to them. I keep forgetting.
I'm the same way.
Drew, just so you know, I had to double check myself because but just so you know, Mandy Patinkin doesn't join the cast until the season that is out now.
Okay.
So
okay.
if he's the
But
only
I'll still
reason,
watch it just because.
no,
it's in
it is so well done. I love Lost shows. Big fan of Suits. Big fan of
Oh,
Suits.
we
love
love
Suits.
Suits. Yeah, big fan of Suits. Now I started
Harvey's
just
the
on
best.
that. I mean, I don't mean to jump in here because I still want to ask you, Jen, too. But I started watching Bull. I don't know if you guys seen that one.
Love Bill.
Oh
Love
man, that
Bull.
show is so good, and he is such a great actor. I mean, I loved him in NCIS, but
Michael
show, I was
Weatherly,
like,
Jen. Michael Weatherly.
yes.
I only watched NCIS because of him and Ziva's story. So as soon as they left the show, it's kind of off.
But you got to
that
watch
show.
Bull. Bull is just
It's
really really good show.
It's really interesting, and I love those kind of things. Jen, what
Yeah.
about you? What are you watching?
Yeah, what's your show?
I started Slasher the other night. I didn't finish the first episode, but it seems like it's gonna be everyone's talking about it, so I'm gonna watch that.
And what is that on?
That's on. Well, it started on Netflix, and then I think Shudder picked it up because Netflix
Okay.
canceled it. So
Okay.
there's no such thing as commitment anymore with these networks and their
Yeah, I
shows. The other two, that's actually a funny show. That's on HBO Max. It's actually really, really funny. It's two adult siblings, and they have a younger sibling who's like this teen idol. And
I've seen the ads for this. It's good.
yeah, it's pretty funny. It's called The Other Two, and it's on HBO
Okay.
Max. I gotta finish that one. I'm
I've
like
seen
5
ads
episodes
for
into
that.
that one. Yeah,
that's
it's pretty.
good.
It's pretty amusing.
I saw.
Oh,
Jen,
no, I
by
just-
the way,
Oh,
are
no,
you
no, go ahead,
on
Jen.
Do Not Disturb on your
Who, me?
phone?
yeah, I always am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, because I forgot, and the Shudder, the watch party, just started blowing up. I was like,
Oh.
"Red."
Yeah, no, I always have. Those are always turned off for me because it'll go off all the time.
Oh, is there a
um,
watch party tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Joel. I know it's a little.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday.
His is a little later in the month, but he's switching jobs. So go you on your new job. And so he asked that we do it a little early for him, and we are happy to. Movie 1 is Frailty. I forget what movie 2 is.
I like
Frailty is
yeah.
great.
I'm always on the Wednesdays and Fridays. I'm always at work at nighttime. So
Womp womp.
I know.
On Wednesday,
Oh.
hosting.
What's that?
That's when
Wednesdays
Jen
are-
hosts.
Yeah, exactly. And I always see Jen posting her hosting for Wednesday, and I'm like, man. So I try to jump in there, but then I usually get busy and have to turn it off.
Yeah.
So,
Well, see, and I work till like sometimes 6 in the evening, and then I've got 3 kids, so it's very hard for me to do anything and watch anything I want to.
Yeah.
Usually, I have to lock myself in my own bedroom and not even let my wife in or else I cannot watch anything.
See,
and plus-
I told you this. You never outnumber the
No.
amount of spouses.
No.
The ideal amount of children.
Yeah, but I
Don't
have a lot of
You're now
fun.
working zone defense. You're
But
now
it's a lot of
working zone-
fun. It's
I
a lot
know.
of fun.
I gotta tell you that we were with my best friend today. Shout out Agatha. And so her son's 1 and mine's 3. And I was like, he's so much fun. He's so little. Should I have another? And then I was like, no, I'm good. 9 months of no drinking again, I think. Nah.
Yeah, again, my wife was the same way too, but it was like we wanted a big family, you know, and we just didn't think it was gonna be this big, but it ended up being this big. And you know, even talking about having another one, and I'm just like, you know, I'm like, oh, cool, let's have another one. And my wife's like, really? I can't drink. I can't do anything crazy.
Not fun for me.
It's not fun for me. And I'm like, no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. That's why I have kids so spread out in time length.
But that's what I'm saying is that you have one that's a teenager. You're not
You
gonna
got
have that
True.
bond with them.
Yeah.
Drew, as a fellow 1981 baby.
Yeah.
We too fucking old for this shit. Shut it down.
Yeah.
But
Shut it
but
down.
here's the
Time to
thing.
shut it
That's
down.
that's why I have it so spaced out with my kids, because then my wife kind of forgets a little bit about what she went through. And so then I'm like, hey, let's have another kid. She's like, okay. And then she's like, why did you make me do this every single time? Why did you make me do this? But see, she doesn't know that I'm just spacing it out that way so that she doesn't remember the 5 years previously.
Wow.
I can't see.
That's a joke, babe.
I was gonna say I can't see you as the mastermind behind your guys' marriage.
That takes way too much planning.
I'm a secret mastermind. That's the
I
thing.
mean,
That's
I'm not.
what she makes you think.
So
Yeah, I'm-
secret, no one knows.
See, when my wife says, "Oh, that's what you think," and I said, "Okay," but in really in my mind, I'm like, "That's what you think."
And
My
everybody.
mind-
It's circular. Where does it actually start?
Her ears were her ears were burning.
because she just tried to call me.
Someone's in
Is
trouble.
this live? Is this live? Is this
Oh
live?
yeah, we
Okay.
didn't tell you this is live. No
Yeah.
edits.
Crap,
Jesus
Facebook Live
Christ,
right
Jen, if we did
Twitch that.
live, oh my God. The amount of shit I cut out of our podcast. I don't know about you, but I cut some things last week. I was like, that wasn't the best look for Alicia. Because last week I was very pro shark fin. No, I'm totally kidding.
now. I ate shark fin soup every day. And...
Yeah.
No.
That and my caviar consumption was
I'm-
right up there.
I'm gonna
By
have
the
to
way,
check out.
has
a couple of
anybody
those.
here eaten
Shut up.
caviar?
I have.
I refuse.
Can't do it. Can't do
I can't either. I
I
mean,
won't do
eggs. You eat a bunch of eggs. I mean, it's not the same as scrambled eggs.
No,
I thought
it's
it was
not.
going to be the same as scrambled eggs, but it wasn't the same
Why?
as scrambled eggs.
That's a
Thank you
stupid
that
thought.
Jen beat
They're both
me
eggs.
to it.
They're both eggs.
Sir, that is not how this works. That
That's
is not how
entirely a
any of this
Entirely
works.
a joke.
I'm not entirely sure it was.
That's like eating a burger and fish and saying, "Well, it's all meat." You know, they'll
I-
probably think it's the
I was
same.
a chef for 15 years, so I'm pretty sure I know the difference.
So you get to just say
I
whatever
could
you
cook
want.
a duck better than most people you probably know. I'm just saying. Really can.
You're right. I'm sure you can because I have zero desire to cook a duck. But I did own an Italian restaurant with my ex-husband. So why don't you come over? We'll do a chicken parm. We'll
Let's
do
do
a chicken
You've never
parm.
owned a, you've never
Oh,
owned a
chicken
restaurant.
parm too. That's my favorite. My wife's favorite meal.
I
So
love
I've
it.
got lots of practice with that one. So,
Parm.
Yeah.
but okay, Jen. So are you watching anything else?
That's all I can think of right now. Whenever people ask me that question, I immediately blank out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to watch. I'm gonna have to watch those that you mentioned now.
What about you, Matt?
Yeah, man.
I usually I'm watching usually like 3 shows. You know, one
Me
that I'm
too.
watching all the time, one that I actually focus on, and one that I'm just starting usually.
Yeah.
So I'm watching Psych all the time. I always have some season, going on. I'm really watching Superstore. It's a
Love
great,
Superstore.
hilarious.
Love Superstore.
Funny.
I'm gonna have to know when you get to the finale. Gonna have a question for you.
Okay, so it has ended then.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think I watched the first season all the way through, really liked it, and just never came back to it for some reason. So I'm rewatching that, and then I just started. What's the one that I just started? Can't have been that good if I can't
Isn't it?
remember.
No.
What was it? I'll think of it. But yeah, I'm interested to see about the finale of Superstore. I think I'm just distracted because now I'm thinking about what the finale is going to be.
yeah.
Now you got me
Alright.
wondering.
Well, at least it's a complete.
Oh, yeah.
They knew they knew it was the last season, so it's not
Yeah.
like it's a complete
Yeah.
story.
It's
I love the
complete.
way shows
It's
do that.
beautiful. I feel it was very beautifully done.
I like.
Okay. Good.
I love
Yeah.
when shows get.
Basically, my question is, did you cry?
Okay. All right.
Was
I'll
it
let you know.
so
I probably
bubbly
will.
gut? Yeah.
If it's real sweet and teary
You big baby.
and all that, I tear
I
up at movies all the time.
You big baby.
I know.
Drew,
I
I cried during Sharknado. Okay, so I think it's
Okay.
safe to say that
Okay,
my threshold is pretty low.
We watched
It
My
also
Girl.
could have been all the tequila.
Okay, we did My Girl, right? Podcast over that, and so
You cried. You cried.
Nope.
I did. I teared
I
up.
don't
my brother did. My brother did. My wife did. My son did. My daughter did. Even my 1.5-year-old did.
But-
I
That was because his diaper was full. But
Yeah.
you were half asleep though.
this is true. I'm always half
for
asleep.
sometimes some
I'm
of the
always
movies.
half
So I
asleep.
think that's- What's that?
First time watching it.
Oh no.
No,
I
no.
watched it back. I have a problem with relating to the emotions of some of these movies.
You have
because
no empathy.
yeah,
That's
that's
so-
a little bit
that's
of
a
it.
so-
Drew, he
Don't cry at me.
can't see without his glasses. How does that not get you? I'm thinking about it and I want to start crying. Forget it.
I just
Put
I
his
keep-
glasses on. He needs his glasses.
but the problem is I just keep imagining him
He
going
was going to
like
be an
this.
acrobat.
I just keep imagining him from Home Alone, though. That's my problem. It's just, that either that or hanging out with Michael Jackson and his monkey. That was my problem.
I don't cry at movies. I get a little.
mean-
all the time. All the time.
I do. I get choked up.
That's why I like scary movies, though, because you can like somebody that's that doesn't cry at movies and something, you know, you can understand the fear side of it. You know, like the emotion. Some people can't understand the emotion side of a movie, but you can always understand the fear side of it.
Yeah. I sob every time in Jaws when Mrs. Carmody comes up, smacks him, and does her monologue. I sob every time. That woman's pain is so visceral to me. It is amazing. I cry, and I've seen the movie every year since I was a like teenager. Every time.
I did
every time.
I can see that, but see, I did cry during Sharknado. I mean, does that count?
Why were you crying?
Yeah, why?
I was crying because my eyes hurt so badly. My
eyes
from all the awesome special effects.
Yes, from the awesome special effects. My eyes hurt so badly it made me cry.
It's actually blowing through your eyes and got them all teary.
And Drew, the question to you: what are you currently watching?
Right now, I'm a big anime fan. I love watching anime. I'm watching Hunter x Hunter. The new season just came out of Hunter x Hunter.
And watching that.
You watch One Punch Man?
One Punch Man. I just finished the whole entire season. I got really upset with One Punch Man because they make him to be like the most powerful anime character of all time. And so it kind of bugged me a little bit because I'm more of a Naruto fan and a Dragon Ball Z fan. But I did finish it and I really enjoyed it. And then Hunter x Hunter, I'm watching that. I'm also watching Bull, like I was saying, which is a great show. But I started watching Manifest. And Jen, you said something about with them canceling it.
Yeah.
Different networks canceling stuff. But this one, I keep on hearing that Netflix is going to come out because Netflix picked it up for its final season. And Netflix is talking about after all the fan pressure and everything that they actually are talking about coming out with a 5th season. So I'm really pumped about that because this show is actually really, really good because you don't really know if it's like a religious aspect or an alien aspect or.
Right.
Everyone's talking about how good it is. I just feel like it's been done so many times. Like with the 100 and like just that concept of all these people left and now they're back. I feel like it's just been done.
Like the Langoliers almost, in a way, which I'm sorry, but that was the worst Stephen King movie ever. The Langoliers.
It's a great story.
Interestingly, probably the only Stephen King movie that my husband watched that I haven't. I've never seen The Langoliers just because it came out at a time when I was too young, didn't have cable. And then I just always forget to stream it. It just never comes into my mind because Langoliers are watching Misery for the 7th time. Kathy Bates, You Can Do No Wrong. It's Misery again for me. And he loves it. And I'm like, I haven't heard great things. And he's like, no, it's really good. And I'm like, I don't know that I trust you on that. So.
The story's good. But
the story's good.
Good.
The
direction, special effects weren't too good.
That's how I felt about the dark half. It did not go well. Question me.
It's kind of just how it's like more of a Shudder horror question, but you guys don't talk much about Black Mirror, and I don't ever want to bring it up.
Oh, I like that show.
Talk about it a lot, but do you guys ever? I mean, does that ever get brought up in the Shudder a lot? Because I think
not a lot, but it's come up every once in a while. But it's a really good.
I've yet to see it.
It's cringy. In my opinion, it's good, but it's cringy. Like some of the episodes, I'm like, oh.
By cringy, you mean it's just they don't have happy endings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I love a happy ending. And with the Black Mirror, it's real cringy to the point where you're just like, oh, it really is. Like
that's the dating app one.
But did you watch that one where the girl that she killed her children or she killed the children and then she was reliving that day and the town finding out that it's her and the town knowing it's her and everything else like that. And so it was like real cringy. Like she had to live this day. That was her sentence in court. And her boyfriend that did it with her, this crime, he ended up going to jail and just getting, the death sentence, but she had to relive this every day. It was very,
I want to see that one. I gotta go back and because I don't think that I finished all of them, and I thought I had, but then I looked and I was like, oh wait, I did not finish them all.
Yeah,
I
that's a
didn't
good
think
one.
I'd be a fan of the anthology. I like a continuing story, but I really like these, and they get creepy sometimes.
Yeah, the first one I watched, because I started it with my mom, was the President and the Pig.
Oh yeah.
Word.
That's one of
Yeah.
those that you go back and watch afterwards. You don't start. You probably shouldn't start the show with that one. So.
Yeah.
Start with that. And it was one you don't have to watch anything in order. The Black Museum one was really good.
Yeah.
That one, because that was anthology. That was like one episode or a movie, and they had all the little different stories. The one where the doctor could see.
Yeah, that was the museum that was next to the gas station that person stopped at, and they told all the stories of all the horrible things and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys like the American Horror Story
Oh yeah.
show?
Yeah.
See, I started too. I thought the first one was okay. I gotta watch the second one still. I don't know why it's easy right now, because when I'm watching shows, I'm like, okay, I need to go do something else because it's so short.
I'm the
I'm
same
like-
way. Yeah,
So-
or I'll jump around to different shows. It drives my wife up the wall, But like in this new season, like I've watched every season except for Cult, and I just don't want to watch it because it's too political for me, And
Yeah,
I
It'll-
didn't watch
it'll argue.
Cult. I watched
Yeah.
like a little bit of Cult.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, good.
it's my daughter's favorite season. It's my wife's favorite season,
But
but
she likes that. What's his name?
Evan Peters.
Evan Peters.
Yeah, she has a
Oh,
thing.
we
My
all-
daughter has a thing for
Oh,
Evan
okay.
Peters.
And when you said that, I thought you were asking about the new show, the anthology.
Yeah. It's like it's a
American
spin-off,
Horror
right?
Yeah, it's American Horror Stories. So
Yeah, it's a
each,
bunch of short
sort of-
stories.
yeah,
Yeah, I have to start that. I haven't started that yet.
Well, the newest season after 1984 is actually is going to have Macaulay Culkin in it.
oh.
So that's
Oh,
going to
it
be
is.
yes. It's
I
got to be good.
It'd be good if they do some kind of throwback to that or something.
Yes,
He's a new daddy, isn't he now?
Yeah. He just had a kid.
He's a new daddy.
Who did he knock up?
The girl from
Brenda
the Sweet
Song.
Life
that's-
with
Like what? And he dated Mila Kunis for a minute. I'm like, what is going on?
He's dated some people, and you're just like, wow, that guy?
Wait, who's dated some people? I'm sorry. I was saying goodbye to my son first. I was saying goodbye
you're
to my
fine.
child.
We call it Culkin is who we were talking
Oh,
about.
yes. He has dated some persons. Yes.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, I think he
What?
dated Michael Jackson, didn't he, for a little bit there?
Well, but-
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I don't either. I mean, I grew up with Michael Jackson, so I can't believe it. I just don't want to. I think.
What? Yeah, he was never proven anything, and he's dead now. He can't
No.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
And it really came out heavy after he passed away, which I
Yeah.
thought was gross. So,
Yeah.
but anyways,
Yep.
Okay, so does anybody have anything else to say about
What are we talking about again?
Sharknado?
What movie? That's right.
Sharknado.
I-
One of
people
us
get
has to
list-
keep us on track, so I guess it'll be
Yeah,
me.
but usually, like, I'll try to do it a little bit, and my brother will try to do it, and then you and Jen. But it's just you can't keep track on a movie this.
There's
like
nothing else to talk about. Like people just killed. Oh, my favorite kill was the guy in the parking lot with the shark eating him, and then he got smashed by a shark. I was like, really? Like you couldn't have landed?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like pile it on. That's true definition of piling it on that one.
I was like, damn, you couldn't have done that before I was being devoured. That would have been nice.
yeah, my most like ludicrous part of this movie, and it was because it was the beginning. Although I knew what I was getting into, I had to wait until this point to be like, okay, I know what I'm getting into now. But it's like when they were we had the one guy Steve on his surfboard, and he's telling everybody else to get out of the water, and he's still in the water, and he's telling people to get off the beach, and he's still in the water.
Well,
Yeah.
there was a cute girl
And
in the water.
Yeah,
There's
well-
a cute girl in the water, so he had to stay in the
She
water.
was gone, I think.
No, she got eaten eventually, but very well.
Even the
pretty
guy on the
quickly.
jet ski got bit before he got bit, and he was
Yeah.
just chilling in the water.
On a
Yeah,
surfboard.
Yeah.
Sharks don't like it easy.
No, they do not.
we like a little challenge.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, we've exhausted Sharknado for sure.
Yeah, we
For
really
sure.
have,
Like,
And everything else.
and everything else.
Like
Not now.
impressively, honestly. So guys, here at Horn Heels, we give a show a ranking of heels based out of 10. So, Drew, how many heels would you give Sharknado?
Can we get flats instead, or like tennis shoes? Anything but heels?
Whatever you would like.
Okay, I'm gonna say 1.5. I'm gonna say 1.5.
1.5.
Right.
That is. Can I ask what gave it a half a point?
The fact that you brought back Ian Ziering and Tara Reid back to their pinnacle, because they were never really reached a pinnacle of their career, but you pretty much brought them back to where they probably were as far as their standing in Hollywood, I guess.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Matthew, how many heels are you giving this?
I guess I got.
Let's call it film.
Well, I base this on like The Room. Have you seen The Room?
Yes.
You
Okay.
bring this up every time, Matthew.
I know. I thought this
Yeah,
was
you
the
do.
first time. Is this okay?
Yes.
Wow. So
Now, maybe not on our podcast, but
Wow.
of course.
I've never.
I give The Room, like, I would give that 5 heels.
Yeah.
So this one, but that one is like, it's pretty much the whole thing is enjoyable to
Yeah.
like laugh at stuff. And a lot of Sharknado was, but there were some parts where I was just like I was even taken out of the parts that you're supposed to laugh at and everything. So I don't know. I give it a 3. Let's go with 3. Yeah, a generous 3, I think.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna go.
Can we give the heels to a different movie, or do we have to give it to this movie?
I'd like to give an additional one to Jaws.
Yes, I want to give one to Jaws because I think Jaws deserves it more.
You don't have 10 total heels to give.
Dang it.
How many heels are you handing out today?
How would I wear them all, and what would I wear them with?
8.5 heels left.
Give it to Jaws. Just give them to Jaws.
We're gonna need a bigger heels. Oh jeez.
What about you guys?
One. Basically, because I didn't have to pay to see it.
I think it knows what it is, and it's silly and it's fun, and yeah. So that's why I get 3.
You got 3. Okay.
Yeah.
I have to say that I feel very strongly too that Jen scores everything on the I live in LA and could potentially run into these people scale. So she gives everything at least 1 or 2 more heels than she.
Oh Lord, no! I actually have a good chance of running into a lot of these people because of my brothers. So
Yeah.
But affect my rating. It's genuine. No thrown heels.
Well, you play in leagues with people like Arlen and stuff like that. So you're rubbing elbows with these filmmakers.
Exactly.
Rubbing more than elbows playing football.
No.
Oh wait,
You
it's a flag league. It's a flag league. That's right.
Yeah, because the only we have like one movie star that I know of in North Texas, and Jason Lee.
Oh yeah.
Jason Lee is the only one that I know of that lives in this area. I'm sure there's quite a few. I mean, you got Glenn Beck too, but
He lives down the road.
I'm sorry. Are we now calling Glenn Beck a star? I just want to know where we are here.
Hey, he makes
I
a
wouldn't call him a star.
lot of money. A lot
Listen,
of money.
Drew, I also know a lot of drug kingpins bringing in the cheese.
You are from New
Yeah.
York, after all, so
They are not stars.
yeah, that's true. That's very
And
true.
I gotta tell you, in my soul, I feel like Glenn Beck's about to go down the Bill O'Reilly hole. So it's only a matter of
or
time.
even the Alex Jones.
Yeah, it's
oh.
only a matter of time.
But we digress, right?
Every time. Every time.
Um, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go ahead and Google that. I don't need to explain things to you. Anything else you boys would like to discuss before we exit?
Well, we got it next time. Let's do a film that actually is
has substance.
that will stick with all
and
episodes.
that's a good one. You know,
There's no way. There's no way this group is sticking with an episode.
This has kind of become our thing now, is to talk about the ridiculous movies. That way we only have to talk about them for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then we can talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about.
Yeah,
we just got pigeonholed. Man.
For 13 Ghosts, we stayed on point with that one.
We did pretty, we did better, I guess, at least that one.
But it's still a little
I
bit
feel
of a
like
ridiculous
Matt removed a lot of extemporaneousness from the
I might have. I think we recorded over 2 hours for that. Though.
Yeah.
At 2:18 now, so.
Oh shit.
Oh goodness. I bet this is a busy day for me.
Good luck to your guys' editor.
That's Alicia, so.
Oh, okay. I thought you guys had somebody you'd always shout out during your
No, that was just for sound to get our sound. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And we lost Fred. We haven't heard from him. We hope you're okay, Fred. We hope you're okay. Yeah, we haven't heard from Fred in months, so it's back on us.
Okay.
Which one of you does the edit?
He does. He does all the hard. He does all the hard work. I just sit there.
Andrew watches the movie and shows up and talks about it.
Yes, but I tend to talk the most, so that's why I feel like I put in my work.
He likes to talk, so it's good. It's good to have him, so we can kind of have feedback.
Yeah.
Jen handles our social media, and some weeks when I get
I don't even handle that. Yeah, Matt handles all
Andrew
that.
Andrew says, "What are we watching?" I tell him what we're watching. He watches it and comes and talks about it, and then I do everything else.
And write 0 notes. I write 0 notes.
You do write 0 notes. I've noticed this.
But we found out, like, at first, because my brother's kind of OCD when it comes to this stuff, so
it works better this way.
He's very technical about it and everything else like that. But we found out that, like, because he was like, oh, maybe you should write a little bit. I'm like, no, I'm not writing anything. Nothing. And but that's how I work. That's how I'm able to do it. It's just because I work better that way, on the fly kind of thing, And I've always been that way. And with him, he's a lot more technical, and he used to drive him up the wall. And I know it did. He never said it, but I knew it used to drive him up the wall until the point where he realized that it just works better this way anyways.
Because I'd be like, hey, can you do a little more or of this or that? And then I'll be like, hey, stop doing that. I don't like that. And then I'm like, okay, just let me make the decision. So I get like so control freak OCD about it. I'm just like, it works better the way that we are.
It really does.
Yeah. Strengths. Know your strengths.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, thank you, boys, for joining us. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been a lot. I don't know.
2 hours worth.
2 hours worth of something. If we really just wanted to make it a Sharknado episode, I think we could edit this down to a tight 15 minutes.
That's right.
That's what I was saying earlier. I was like, about 15 minutes of Sharknado actually happened.
I mean,
and that's just dogging the film, not even telling anything about the film.
Yeah, we know nothing. But okay, guys, tell them where they can reach you.
I guess we'll do it the PostCredit Podcast way.
Yeah, go for it.
If you guys want to get a hold of us, we're at all social media at the PostCredit Podcast, except for Twitter. We're at the PostCredit. Our email address is thepostcreditpodcast@gmail.com. We have a website. It's www.thepostcreditpodcast.com, and we're on YouTube.
And I don't think I got to say my famous. It's not really that famous, but I don't think I got to say my catchphrase in the last 2 episodes. So I'm definitely.
Oh God, go ahead.
And throw me a bone.
When he first started doing that, I'm like, you're not going to do that every episode. He goes, yes, I am. And I'm like, no, dude. I was like, what does that even mean? He goes, I don't know. I think it's funny. And so it just became like a thing. And I'm like, now we have to do it. And I like that.
Now that's what people expect.
That's how we got the golden bone and all kinds of stuff. So.
Yes. When you said you were sending me a bone, that thing that you just held up, that's what I was expecting.
That is not what Chad received.
That's what it was originally going to be. But then I was like, we have to give it the whore and heels treatment and make it look like a serial killer put it together. So that's what it ended up being.
Serial killer put it together. Who made that? Both of you?
That would be me. Yeah.
Like I said, I do nothing here.
I was like, wow, the craftsmanship. I was like, wow, I was not expecting this. I thought I was gonna have a little bone I could like put on my shelf. I was like, I don't even know where to put this thing. It's massive. Is it a human?
It stands up. It's a recreation of a femur. Yeah, yeah.
But you gotta admit that this is probably the most awesome trophy you've ever received. I mean, literally, come on now. I mean, or close to.
Very, yes. I feel like
Definitely
I need a rematch just so I can as well get a trophy.
And I saved the other heel and the other bone for if you guys do a showdown, so that way Alicia can get her own trophy. So we got to schedule that out too.
Sounds good. Okay. Till next time, boys. Bye.
Absolutely.
Later.